Canada just went full political cyclone, and at the center of it all is Mark Carney, the elite's golden boy, now spinning out like a banker caught in a prairie twister. What set it all off? None other than Governor General Mary Simon. Calm, composed, unapologetically constitutional. She shocked the Laurentian establishment by doing the one thing no one believed she would. She pulled the pin. And just like that, Mark Carney's carefully crafted image, that smug, controlled smile he wore like a tailored suit, disintegrated. Gone. Faster than a campaign promise in springtime. You could hear the liberal panic echoing from coast to coast, in English, French, and bureaucratese. This bombshell didn't come from nowhere. It all started with Danielle Smith, Alberta's premier, who delivered a strategic masterclass that blew the doors off Canadian politics. While Central Canada navel-gazed over lattes and CBC headlines, Smith executed a political maneuver with the precision of a neurosurgeon and the subtlety of a sledgehammer. 3 Alberta by-elections shook the federal landscape, and Smith wasn't just sending a message. She was dragging the establishment into the street and making them listen. While the Laurentian elites clung to their talking points, Smith was lighting bonfires across the West, and as the flames rose, so did the pressure. But where was Mark Carney, our global finance darling, our supposed grown-up in the room? Likely workshopping his next TED Talk while the political earth crumbled beneath him. Carney, once the polished symbol of liberal rebirth, suddenly looked like a deer in the headlights. Mary Simon had just told the establishment, "No, not on my watch." And in that moment, the man trusted with managing national economies couldn't even manage the narrative within his own party. And now the Liberals are in full free fall. But let's take a quick breath. If you're enjoying this takedown, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you think. All right, back to the carnage. Carney was sold to us as the antidote to Trudeau. The adult in the room. Pragmatic, steady, elite, but relatable. Well, if this is adult leadership, then it's time for Canada to ask for a refund. Ottawa has been reduced to a daycare with no supervision, full of tantrums, broken toys, and something suspicious bubbling under fiscal policy. The Liberal plan was all optics, fog machines, puff pieces, and 1,000 think pieces about centrism. Carney was rolled out like some kind of a navy blue messiah, a financial Obama for the weary masses. But Canadians are tired, not stupid. They saw through the performance, and when the recounts began and supposedly safe liberal ridings began turning blue, the illusion cracked. Carney didn't unravel in public, he's too polished for that. But insiders whisper of meltdowns behind closed doors, phones thrown, staffers crying, economic theory textbooks turned into projectiles. He was unraveling, not as a leader, but as a man watching his coronation slip away. And then there's Pierre Poilievre, calm, focused, walking through this chaos like he's been preparing for this his entire life. While the Liberals combust, he's out there in flannel talking to real people, answering real questions and offering real solutions. Canadians don't need permission from the media or the Governor General to take him seriously. They already do. Every riding flipped, every liberal excuse exposed, every insider strategy blown up. This isn't just a political moment. This is a full-blown national reckoning. And Mary Simon, God bless her northern grit, saw the writing on the wall. She watched the recounts, the rising anger, the growing disillusionment, and said what needed to be said. Let Canadians decide. Boom. A new election. Cue the screaming in Liberal HQ. Sources say Carney had to be removed from the ceiling with a diplomatic spatula. Make no mistake, this didn't happen overnight. The storm has been building, the provinces have been agitating. Danielle Smith has been fanning the flames, and while the Liberals tried to slap on PR band-aids, the infection was already systemic. They lost control of the provinces. They lost control of the message. Now they've lost control of their future. Carney is now learning the painful truth. Being a banker with credentials doesn't make you relatable, doesn't make you electable, doesn't even make you likable. And the media? They're panicking. Unprecedented, they cry. Destabilizing, they wail. But this isn't chaos. This is democracy. This is what happens when gatekeepers lose their keys and the people walk through the front door. Maybe, just maybe, Canadians are done with leaders who need a policy team to tell them how much a loaf of bread costs. Maybe they want a prime minister who shops at the same store they do. Now the liberal machine is in full collapse. MPs jumping ship. Donors disappearing. And Carney? Reportedly checking if it's too late to pivot back to the private sector. Too late, Mark. The only boardroom you'll be heading now is the post-mortem committee of a party in full implosion. Danielle Smith deserves applause. She didn't just challenge Ottawa, she rewrote the script. She handed the mic to the people. And Mary Simon? She stepped into a largely ceremonial role and reminded everyone that real power, when wielded with integrity, can change everything. And Poilievre? He's no longer just the guy throwing punches. He's the guy voters trust to fix the mess. The Liberals tried to paint him as angry, but in the face of Carney's unraveling, Poilievre now looks composed, capable, prime ministerial. Turns out when you listen to Canadians, they listen back. And what they're saying is loud and clear. No more lectures, no more sanctimony, no more false promises. They want competence. They want honesty. They want change. We're not witnessing a collapse, we're witnessing a reset. The old guard is crumbling, the spin is dying, the power brokers are packing. Mark Carney? He's sitting in a room full of shredded polling data, trying to figure out how the Second Coming became a historical footnote. The new election isn't just another political exercise. It's a referendum on everything Canadians have been forced to endure. The inflation, the gaslighting, the staged empathy. They're rejecting it all. And they're embracing a new direction. With each passing day, the choice becomes clearer. Grit over gloss. Solutions over soundbites. Reality over rhetoric. So raise your coffee to a country rediscovering its voice. The game is back on. And Carney? He's been escorted out of the arena, participation ribbon in hand. This isn't just a change in polls, it's a shift in the soul of the nation. And it couldn't come soon enough.